Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show us how to draft a cowl sleeve blouse. Okay, a cowl sleeve blouse. So the first thing to do is to determine the amount of fabric you need. So you make use of the widest part of your body, either the bust or the hip, whatever it is, divided by 4. Then since we are going to draft on pattern first, there's no need putting seam allowance. So whatever it is, you just use it, fold your fabric into 2 and use it to cut out what you need. So having done that, next thing is you draw your starting line. I took a ruler and I drew a line, just ½ inch. Okay, having done that, the next thing, you take your tape measure from this starting point. You place your tape rule like that and you measure from here to your bust point. I measured at 10 inches. Then from bust point to your waist, okay, I took 17 inches. And to the blouse length, I took 23 inches. So it depends on the person you're sewing for. So having done that, next thing to do is you come to this part, you take your neck width. Okay, so I'm just going to take 3 inches for neck width. You mark it. So after marking it, next thing, you take your shoulder. So for the shoulder, you go by measuring your shoulder, you divide it by 2. Do you know why you are dividing it by 2? Because your fabric is on fold. Okay, so divided by 2, this is what I have. Okay, so now from this shoulder point, all I need to do is just to come down by 1 inch, or you can come down by 3/4 inch. I usually like 1 inch. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to connect it to this point here. From this your shoulder, connect it to the 3 inches mark here. Okay, so this automatically gives you your shoulder slope point. Okay, never cut any fabric without imputing this measurement. It's very important. Otherwise, after sewing, the fabric, the blouse you're sewing will be flying up. Okay, so from here it's time to take the armhole measurement. Okay, so whatever the armhole measurement is, you just from here, not up here, from here you just impute your armhole measurement. Don't forget, whatever you have taken here, from here to here is my shoulder, 7.5. I will come down here and measure. Whatever you take here, you also impute it here. But before I do that, I will take my armhole. Now for the armhole, some will tell you is shoulder divided by 2, but the best accurate armhole is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.2 plus 1.5 inches. So whatever you get, you just come here and you measure it. Okay, you come here and you measure it. I'll just use my pen to tick it. Then I'll use my pen to tick it first before I use my marker. Okay, so I haven't ticked the point here. Next thing is I'm going to place the same measurement. I will come here and take whatever you have here. You measure from up, come up now. So whatever you have here, you also come here, you measure it. Please note, I am not measuring from here. I'm not measuring from here. I'm measuring it from the top here, so that it will be accurate. It will be the same. Okay, so whatever you have here, you place it here and you measure. So I'll come here too. So having done that, next thing is I will take my tape rule and so automatically this will serve as my chest line. Okay, so this is my chest line. So So now the lines I have here, I have, this is CL, chest line, this is BL, bust line, this is WL, that's my waistline, and this is the full blouse length. Okay, so this is FL, full length of the blouse. So I haven't done that. Next thing, I'm going to take the neck depth. Okay, so for the neck depth, please note, like I said initially, this is cowl top tutorial. Okay, for this particular cowl top, you need to use pattern to cut the front and the back. Now, I do not need to draft the front pattern and draft the back pattern separately, because I just need the back to use to draft the front. Okay, so I will take my back measurement here. Okay, so for the depth, I'll take 1 inch, and I'll use my curve to simply connect like this. Okay, so this will serve as the back neckline. As for the front, I'm not going to cut the front neckline because I don't need it. This is cowl blouse. Okay, there's a special way you cut it, so I haven't done that. Next thing is to take my darts. Okay, so I'll just come here and take 4 inches. I'll measure 4 inches here. Sorry, for this line I need to draw it out, straighten it. Okay, so here I'll take 4 inches, I'll mark it. You come to the waist again, you measure same 4 inches, you mark it just to be sure I measured it correctly. Then this hip line, that's the full length, this is towards the hip, so you first of all measure 4 inches like this. Then from these 4 inches, you are going to measure 2 inches above the hip line. Okay, 2 inches above the hip line. You know why you have to go up 2 inches? Because so that your darts, when you want to take these darts, it would go smoothly. Before I do that, I'll come up by 1 inch or 1.5 inches, because this is back darts. Okay, the back dart is always longer than the front dart, so I'll just connect a straight line like this. So with this straight line drawn, next thing I'll do is come to your waistline, take ½ inch to the right and ½ inch to the left. Okay, like this, like this. So now I'm going to connect it to this point. So that's my darts for that part. Then here too, I'll do the same. Okay, I haven't done that. Then connect it to this point like so. Like so. Also connect it like so. So now I'm done taking the darts. Okay, so I haven't done this. You know, this is the back dart. Okay, so now I haven't done this. Next thing I will do is don't forget, this particular back block does not have a zip. Okay, it's not going to have a zipper. That is why, if you observe, I did not put zipper allowance, and I do not really need to use zipper allowance, because I am using this pattern to cut the front. Okay, so if I put zipper allowance, it means it's going to obstruct the design for the front. Okay, so it will not have zipper allowance. But the fabric I'm going to cut, the fabric I want to use for this tutorial, won't be enough for the back. So I am going to, when I want to transfer this to the back block, I am going to include zipper allowance on the back block, because the fabric I want to use, it won't be enough. Okay, So I need to split my own back into two, but you don't have to do that way because the pattern is not designed to have a zipper. So definitely your fabric will be enough, so you just cut it outrightly exactly the way the pattern is. Okay, so that's that for that. So now next thing is the armhole. So for this armhole, I just need to impute half of it. So you just get the midpoint, okay, you mark it, then come in by, you know, the armhole for the front and back is not the same. So for because I'm still using this pattern for the front, so I'll just mark out the front armhole, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so that is it. So next thing, from this point and this point, I'm going to connect a curve like so. So you carefully place it such a way that these 3 points must meet each other. Okay, okay, so this is it. So having done that, I have drafted the armhole for the front. Okay, so because this pattern is for the back, I'll just connect the line that will connect to the back armhole like this. Okay, so this will be my back armhole while this will be the front armhole. So having done that, the next thing is you just come to take your bust circumference. Whatever your bust circumference is, you divide it by, you know, there are two methods of doing this. The front bust is always more than the back bust. Okay, but you can see that I'm drafting this pattern as front and back. Okay, so I'll just go with bust divided by 4 in this case. So whatever the measurement is, you impute it, then add your ease. Okay, then the same thing, whatever the measurement is, you impute it and you add your ease. So having done that, next thing, you come to the waist. Whatever your waist measurement is, impute it. Now for this waist, don't forget, whatever you choose as your waist measurement, do not forget that there is a dart. You added a dart here. So the law of that says whatever dart you take, you have to return it. Okay, so whatever your waist measurement is, you mark it. Then after marking it, also impute your darts. So I'm going to add my darts 1 inch. Okay, I'll add my darts 1 inch. So after having done that, next thing, I'll come to the hip line and measure whatever the hip is. Okay, so whatever the hip is, just put it there. You can put ease. So now, having done all this, all I need to do is just to mark everything. Okay, so you just carefully mark it like so. Okay, so that is that for that. So next thing to do is I'm going to cut it out. So as you can see, I am done cutting the back. Okay, so this is the back. So now in the next so what I will do next is I'm going to use this to cut the front. Okay, but before I cut the front, because when it comes to cowl neck, the main tutorial is at the front part of the cowl neck. Okay, cutting the back is very easy. So all I need to do is just to get some fabric and I'll cut. Just like I said, I am going to cut mine, split the back because the fabric is not enough. Okay, but for yours, you just carry the pattern. You just carry the pattern and place, make sure the fabric is on fold. Okay, make sure the fabric is on fold. So when you want to cut the back, okay, I'm just showing you how to cut your back. You just place the pattern like this, okay, and you trace it out. Don't forget to put your allowance. Okay, for the neckline you need 1/2 inch, the shoulder you need 1/2 inch, the armhole you need 1/2 inch, then here you need about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. It depends on how you like to leave enough allowance on your fabric. Okay, but at least 1 inch is enough here. Then here you need to leave about 2 inches in order to hem it. Okay, except if you are turning it with lining, then you just leave maybe 1/2 inch to turn with lining. Okay, so that's that for that. So as you can see, I have cut the back. I told you I was going to leave small allowance, okay, that I will just use to join the stuff at the back because the back fabric is not enough. But for yours, do it the way I told you. Okay, so that's that for the back. So for the front, so this is how you fold your fabric. Okay, so after folding it into two, okay, make sure you leave enough allowance here. Okay, at least something to cover up from here to this chest line region. Okay, so just make sure you leave enough allowance like this. So next thing to do is you place, you know, this is the front, this is the back block, right? So now I'm going to slash this part. Okay, this part. It's time to form the cowl neck. Okay, slash it not to the extreme, but at least almost to the extreme, but not totally. Okay, so I haven't done it that way. Next thing, you are going to spread it. Okay, you are going to spread it. So from here, let me see, you spread and spread and spread. Make sure that what you are spreading is actually how deep you want your cowl, the cowl to be on your neckline. Okay. But before I measure how deep I want the cowl to be, I need to pin down the lower part of this pattern like this. I have to pin it down to the fabric. Okay, the reason for this is because so that when I'm slashing and spreading the upper part of this pattern, and it won't make the down part to shift. Okay, so you need to pin it down like this. So next thing I'm going to do, okay, I just pinned it down so that it doesn't get to shift. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I haven't cut it. Okay, so once you cut it like this, so next thing I'm going to do after cutting it, you tilt it like this. Okay, so just simply tilt it
towards the back side, tilt it, and this depends on how deep you want the neckline to be, the cowl neckline. Okay, you can decide to make it you can decide to make it 6 inches. You can decide to make it 6.5. 7 inches will be too deep, but it all depends on what you want. Okay, so for me, I just went down by 6 inches. Okay, so you carefully maintain this balance. Okay, you can now pin the upper part of it, the yoke part of it. After achieving the depth of the neckline, you can decide how deep you want it to be. Once you get the depth, next thing is to pin that part down. I'm just marking it so that I will know.
Take a long ruler, as it is, take a long ruler. You see this shoulder point here, this part, you know, this is the neckline, this is the shoulder. From this shoulder point, just place your long ruler like this, okay, and you measure straight like this. Okay, you just give it a straight, you measure it straight like this. Okay, so having measured it straight, next thing to do, you need to trace all these parts. You need to trace it and cut. But before I trace it, I need to fold this remaining parts. Okay, you know, I told you make sure you leave enough allowance here. Okay, so this remaining parts, what I will do is I'll just fold it like this. Let me pin this part down. Okay, there's no need pinning it down. Let me just use the straight line I have drawn here, this straight line. So I'll use this to fold. So you fold it in like this. Although if you don't want, maybe you don't have enough fabric, you can go ahead and cut it like that without folding. But this is just to give you a professional and neat finishing. Okay, that's the essence of this fold. So after folding it, you return this back exactly the way it was. Okay, exactly the way it was, like this. So you need to recross check. You need to recross check to ensure that the allowance you left is still intact. You can see it's still intact. So the next thing I will do, forget all about this part, this front part. Okay, forget all about this front part, all this side, forget about it. Now come here and start tracing. You start tracing from the shoulder. Please note, this is very important. You know, now this is no longer pattern drafting. This is, we are cutting directly on fabric. So what this means is that you must leave your allowance. Okay, this is the shoulder, so you leave your 1/2 inch allowance. You come to the armhole too. Please, before I forget, this armhole, I forgot to remove the back armhole. You know, I no longer need this back armhole. So all you need to do is just to carefully remove the armhole. Okay, let me use my tracing wheel to trace out the front armhole so it will be easy for me to cut. this is very important. You must cut out the back armhole because all you need is just the front. So you need only the front armhole. Okay, so now you continue tracing. So let me place it as it was. Okay, so let me continue tracing. Okay,
29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
okay, so guys, I'm done. Okay, so this is it. So all I need to do is just to remove this, so you remove the pattern. Okay, but before I remove the pattern, let me quickly notch where this particular stuff will get to, like this. So you just notch it so you have idea. Okay, so that's it. So when I open it up, this is what I have. Can you see? I know you'll be wondering what is this all about. Okay, we'll get it soon. So the next thing to do is I'm going to sew the back. Okay, for this I'm going to sew the back. I'll keep this aside. First. Let me sew the back first. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm done with the back. Okay, I'm done. I did my darts. Okay, I sewed the darts, then the neckline I piped it. Okay, so how do we pipe? You can check any of my previous tutorial on how to pipe the neckline like this. So it's time to I want to join the shoulders. Okay, so all I need to do is just take your front, open it up like this. Okay, so you see this part. I want us to see what I'm doing properly. Don't forget this part was folded, okay, like this, and this is the positive part of the fabric. Okay, I know the camera won't be able to capture everything, but at least, so this is the positive side of the fabric, this is the front part. Okay, so in order to join the shoulders, I want to join the shoulders in a way that it will give me neat finishing. So I just need to open up the front like this. Don't forget this part is the lining to this cowl top. Okay, then you take the back part, positive side facing each other, positive. Okay, this is the positive side of the back block. So you just take the shoulder, see the shoulder here, you match it with this like this. Okay, when you match it like this, then you take, let me explain it properly. This is the shoulder. Okay, and this is the armhole. So now take your shoulder, the back part of the dress, of the top. So you take it, you match it with this part. You know when there's a crease line here, this is the crease line. So make sure it aligns like this. Okay, make sure it aligns like this. Then all you need to do, you take this other one, you use it to cover it up like this. So you take it to the sewing machine, you are going to sew the three of them together like this. So you need to pin it, okay, so that it will be equal. So what do? I'll just take my pin. So this way it will give you neat, the shoulder will be very neat. Okay, that means you are using the lining to cover up the rough edges of the shoulder. That is exactly what I'm doing. So I'll take it to the sewing machine and I will join it like this. Okay, so I'll go and sew it. So after doing that, I'll come to this other side. I'll come to the other part too, this side, exactly the same thing I did here. I will come here, take this shoulder part, I will match it up like this, and I will use this and I will cover it up and also pin it down. So let me go and sew it. I'll be back. Okay guys, so this is what I'm talking about. You can see I'm joining the shoulders now. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, and this is the 3rd one. Okay, so just ensure you align everything together, then you start sewing it. Okay, start sewing. So once you get to the end part of it, just back stitch, and that is all. So if you turn it, this is what I have. So I'm going to turn it. I'll go to the table and spread it out on the table. Okay, so guys, this is the front part. Okay, I've spread it on the table so that we'll be able to see properly. This is the front part and this is the armhole. Okay, so like I said before, I want to pipe the armhole. Since I've already joined the shoulder, you can see no rough edges is showing because of the way I did the shoulder. Okay, so since the shoulder and the neckline has been taken care of, so the next thing is just to take care of the armhole. Okay, don't forget I've already joined the lining, the front lining with the together, so that's why I have it in one piece. Okay, so having done that, next thing to do is measure from this part where this armhole ends. You measure from here, you take your tape rule and measure it to where the armhole at the front ends. Okay, so you just take your tape rule and place it like this. Make sure your tape rule stands like this. Don't measure it like this, so that you'll be able to get these curves. You know there are curves here, you'll be able to get the curves. Okay, so just place it like this, like this. This is how to get it accurately. Okay, place it like this, until I get to, so let me see, what I have is 18 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to cut is 20 inches. So from here to here, 20 inches. So just keep this aside. So the next thing is to get a piece of fabric. Okay, I'm going to cut this fabric diagonally. Get me that scissors. I'm going to cut this fabric diagonally. Okay, so don't forget the measurement is 20 inches. I need 20 inches. So I'll just take my tape rule and go across this like this. You don't have to cut it straight like this, horizontal or vertical. It has to be diagonal like this. Okay, so I need just 20 inches. In order for me not to waste this fabric, this is 20 inches, so I need from here to here. So I'll just drag it down to where I think it will fit in for 20 inches. So let me say here. Okay, here. So from here to here. Okay, let me just say 21. No, let me make it 20. So this is it. So what do? I need my chalk. Give me my chalk. So from here to here is 20 inches. This is it. So I'll just mark these parts like so, and these parts like so. So the next thing, get me my ruler, a long ruler, okay? I will just place my ruler like this, and I'll draw a straight line like so. So I haven't drawn it like that, so I'm going to cut. So you can decide to measure 1 inch down, okay? So for the piping, I need just let me say 1 inch or 1.5. Let me just put it at 1.5. Okay, 1.5 is okay. So you just measure 1.5 throughout. To fit it. So you take your second so that's it. So guys, all you need to do is just to cut. So now this is what they call bias cutting, okay? If you observe, it will be stretchy, okay? You need it because where we want to place it is a curve, okay? The armhole, where we want to place it is a curve, okay? So by the time I start sewing, you sew it round till you get to the extreme end. Then the remaining pieces, you just cut it off. Then when you finish, you turn it. And so let me quickly do that. I'll be back, okay? Then after doing that, wait, after sewing this, I'll also cut for that side, sew it. Then I'll join the sides, end the down part, and that's all. I'll show you the final outcome. So guys, finally I am done, okay? So this is the final outcome. Can you see how beautiful this is? Can you see how beautiful this looks? It's very easy. Just follow the steps and you get it right, okay? So this is how to make your cowl sleeve, cowl neck blouse. You can use any lightweight fabric, okay? You can use a Mikado, Duchess, bridal satin. You can use crepe, okay? This is a crepe version. You can use crepe. You can use even chiffon. Yeah, you can use chiffon as long as it's lightweight, okay? This is so beautiful. Isn't this lovely? So guys, just try the steps out one after the other and you get it perfectly, okay? If you enjoyed this video, kindly give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more sewing tutorials and tips from me. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.